All right. So our next review is going to be for the series Agatha All Along. This is a mid-season review here. There's still a few more episodes to go of Agatha. I think just recently was episode 6 that just happened there. So that's where we're at with the series. I caught up to it. There's going to be a total of 9 episodes with it. I believe 9 or 8.
I think
So
nine, yeah.
9. So this is a spinoff of the WandaVision show there with the Agatha Harkness character, the witch that tried to take down Wanda there. And actually, I mean, she kind of almost was saving the town. They hated her because she told the truth, and she was trying to take it down. But yeah, she was trying to take down Wanda there, steal her power. Wanda ended up flipping flipping things on her, and then stealing her power and trapped her in Westview there. And you see at the beginning of the season here that she still thinks she's in Westview and a detective in there. It's almost like a True Detective type parody that she's in, which I thought was very fun. There, they even had like a theme song there for their own True Detective type parody, which I thought was kind of fun. So she finally regains consciousness and then learns of her true self, her true identity, and was like, okay, I'm gonna go to the Witch's Road in order to regain my power, my abilities. And she, in order to travel the Witch's Road, she has to take a coven of people with her. There's some other witches she gathers on her road there. One of them being Aubrey Plaza there. And also this mysterious boy who's known as the teen for most of it, but we just got a reveal in this last episode of who really the teen is, which probably, I mean, if you probably been watching it or following up with the show or keeping track of it, it's probably not that surprising of who the identity was, but there you go. Yeah, Chris, what are your thoughts on Agatha so far?
Did I come on previously and we talked about like maybe the first 2 episodes?
I think you did. I
I
think
think I
you did.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now this is the new Marvel show on Disney Plus, and of course, if there is a competition, DC has a new show on HBO Max. But for me, people who want to compare them and say, "Oh, Agatha All Along is like McDonald's, and the Penguin is like as Steak and Fritz," um, uh, I get it, but they're two completely different shows, two different tones, two different styles, and I think both are successful in their own lane. I'm really enjoying this show. Like I said before, Catherine Hahn really is anchoring this series. I'm not big on the whole uh, witchy thing. I was in a relationship where my girlfriend at the time, her mom was a Wiccan, like she was a wood witch, and you know,
Mm,
so like
okay.
so,
Okay.
there were rituals on full moons, and she had
Mm.
other witch friends. They got around the campfire and like I don't know.
So
But
she
yeah,
was the one that was eating the cats and the dogs. It wasn't the Haitians there.
it
Was
wasn't
it?
the Haitians. No, it was the
Okay.
Wiccans, dog. It was the Wiccans. It's
Okay.
crazy. Um, they're eating the pets. They're eating the dog. um, yeah, Agatha All Along is a show that surprised me. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy it this much, but I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's boils down like the writing is good. It's a well written show, but for me, it's definitely the chemistry between the characters and the actors. There's a lot of camaraderie, and I think that comes from an all woman cast with and like a predominantly women crew. You have that level of comfort and trust, and I feel like you can really feel that here. And it wasn't a crazy mystery who the teen was going to be. I'm almost confident they said it like during press tour, so they said the character's name, or like they hinted to it. They hinted towards it pretty strongly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this show, and this last episode was really great. I did have some questions. Someone did comment on TikTok, and we had a little conversation, a brief conversation. But yeah, I'm along for the ride. I'm really enjoying it, and the show they're parodying in the beginning is Mayor of Easttown with Kate Winslet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't
Okay.
watch it, but I remember seeing trailers for it, and it was a popular show. I noticed the aesthetic immediately because every episode in WandaVision had it was parodying a specific show or at least era of sitcoms, and this one is Mayor of Easttown. and again, a show I didn't watch, but yeah, I'm really enjoying Agatha all along, and I can't wait to finish it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean expectations on this because when this show got announced, it was the classic. People were going, "Well, who the hell asked for this?"
Yeah,
You
do we
know,
need this? Yeah,
do we need this? What's the purpose of this? She was some side character in the WandaVision show who was asking for an Agatha Harkness show. Even though I did like Catherine Hahn in the show, and I like her in almost everything she's in. I think she's really great. And
she's a star.
yeah, and when she did that whole song in there that blew up the whole Agatha, it was Agatha All Along, and that got nominated for a Grammy and everything like that. That was actually her singing, so I didn't know she also was a singer as well. So that was actually her singing. They do some singing in this as well, in this show, and and then so even though I did really like her in there, I was like the idea of them doing a spinoff and about her character. I'm like, okay, y'all just trying to really, fill out the stuff with Disney Plus. Y'all trying to fill out that slate there to get people to subscribe some more. It's like, well, hey, we got Agatha, another Disney show. Here you go, with it. And I would say I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's okay. I don't think it's great. To me, when you look at the other Marvel Disney Plus shows, I think it's on the more better end of those than the weaker end. For me, again, I think you mentioned like some of the chemistry between the cast here with Catherine Hahn and then all the other actresses. Let me pull up the other actresses' name. Here's you have like Zahir Zameda who's in this, who people might know. She was in SNL for a minute. She was there. You have
She's
Deborah.
fine.
Oh, we said
She's
she's fine.
fine.
Oh yeah, she is very fine there. There was that I think that one episode where they were dressed up in like the '80s stuff. And she had some sweatpants on, and then I was like, okay, I didn't know she was working with all that. I was like, okay. So you have Deborah Jo Romp in this, who's Sharon, who poor Sharon, she just she grabbed her. I mean,
Straight up killed her. I was like, dang, poor sweet lady.
yeah, and she's not a witch at all. And then she just grabs her along. But you have Aubrey Plaza in there, who I guess is playing Death. I guess is the thing, or people
He,
speculate.
it's a little, again, her character is also a misdirect because she's introduced as the Green Witch. We need a Green Witch in our coven for the road.
Mm,
The Witch's Ballad, the song that tells the story of how it's done, says, it's in the lyric, you need a Green Witch who has earth-based powers. And Aubrey Plaza's character bursts out of the ground the next time we see her. But now there's like little clues that saying maybe she's not the Green Witch, maybe she is Death. And that's why Agatha talks to her the way she does when the boy is like in his life is in peril a few episodes ago. She's like, no, not him. Like don't take him or whatever, because like that's
mm.
her job as Death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it may be there, but Aubrey Plaza's in this, who I guess for now is the Green Witch there. Maybe it's going to get revealed that she is Death. There. You also have Ali On, who's Alice in this as well. And each of the witches has their own like special skill there that they bring
Yeah.
to there. Like Patty LaPon there, she's also there. Her skill is divination. There's her skills. Here's Zameta's skill is hers is potions.
Mm-hmm.
Alice, her skill is she's a protector witch there. Then you also have the green witch there. So each one has their own little unique thing they bring to the road there and everything like that.
Yeah.
Do you think the journey that kind of they're going on, because it's also kind of similar in that WandaVision, I mentioned how they kind of go through different decades. So there's like a 70s one and an 80s one. Do you think that's too similar to what WandaVision did when they did that in that show? Or
For me, if anything, the way each trial helps them process their trauma, it reminds me of the penultimate episode of WandaVision where Agatha gets where we all get the answers. We go through the beginning of as to why this is happening, and the flashback to Sokovia, and like she grew up watching these sitcoms to being a teenager who volunteered to be experimented on by Hydra. That's what kind of what it reminded me of. Um, but as far as the clothing changing with each trial, I didn't make that immediate connection more than I did the finale of the episode 8 of WandaVision, where they're like just processing Wanda's trauma and going through the history of it.
yeah. And you make a good point. Yeah, because because when they go do these trials, because each trial is supposed to test you in some way and in some fashion. Like the '70s one, it deals with the character of Alice. It deals with her trauma and like what happened with her mother, and then kind of getting released from that. So it does have a purpose there, not just like, hey, let's just have the cast dress up in fun,
Yeah,
costumes, and they do look good in their costumes. Don't get me
look
wrong.
good.
There's a lot of good costume changes in here, but it does also have a purpose there with that. That I thought was good with there. What do you think about some of the effects in the show? Because I know that sometimes with these shows, Disney, even though they have a big budget, some of the effects don't look that strong. What do you think?
It's funny that you say that because everything looked really good. I will nitpick about the last episode, episode 5, when they had to take flight. I thought it was cool the way they made those makeshift brooms. They took a branch, did a little enchantment on it, and then it was a broom. It worked. The flight sequence maybe looked not the best. But with that said, I do love the ET shot with the silhouette of the moon, like their shadows.
Yeah.
That's always a cool shot. But the taking off, leaving the woods in the sky, that probably looked a little, not the
Mm,
best. If I had
yeah.
to nitpick, yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
But the episode where Alice had to sing, how to work through her trauma with her mom, that demon, that was a practical effect. That was like either a puppet or someone in that costume, that she had, before it jumped and was flying around. So that looked really good. And yeah, the powers is just essentially just like a beam of energy. That looks fine, just like WandaVision. But yeah, the flying sequence in the last episode, I guess, looked a little rough.
Yeah. And it's nice that all the witches they get to use their different skills and powers there. So it seems like okay, this is why you were taking on the road, and so that's good there. They each bring a different skill set there, and people are also mentioning kind of like when's the last time we've ever had some good witchy fun? You know what I mean? Which is I guess Hocus Pocus 2 came out. There was that happened. What was it last year or a couple years ago?
Yeah.
And that one was a little mid. Yeah, it was kind of mid. So some more magic, getting into the occult type stuff there in a fun type of way, nothing like that where it's sacrificing people to the devil and other shit like that. So yeah, so you do have that kind of going on in the show, which people might appreciate and have a little bit of fun with that. Um, yeah, does your former girlfriend's mother, does she like stuff like this, or does she see this as a bastardization of her culture? What do you think?
I I don't know if she's watching it. But I think this is something she would enjoy because I think what they're doing in the show, like the people behind it, again, it's a women led show.
Yeah.
I think the people behind it are really passionate about it, especially when you see the end credits of the show. Like you see like kind of the research that went into it, and what kind of inspired them to make the show. Um, so I think, again, I don't know for sure, but I like to think what we're seeing is a respectful depiction of a belief that does exist, because um, as they say in the show, like in the early episodes, it's a harmful stereotype that witches are evil and potions and eat babies. Like originally, witches were healers who made, like they were very holistic, and everything was earth based. You didn't need any industrial factory medicine. Everything you need is like comes from the earth and that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think the show's doing a good job. I don't know. I'm not part of the culture.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. Maybe it is respectful. You know what I mean? I don't know, but yeah. So you do have that, and I think one of the best dynamics, one of the better dynamics in the show is between Arby Plaza and Catherine Hahn there.
Really good
Uh,
history.
yeah, really good chemistry. Really, and they said that this was supposed to be the gayest Marvel show ever. That's was the thing that people trotted out there. Do you think they'll go? I mean, well, you did have the Joe character, and he did kiss another man in it. You did have that kind of going on. So do you think this Marvel show is going further than any other kind of Marvel show as far as gay representation, LGBTQ representation there?
I would say so. And because the show's not over, and we're definitely getting more Catherine Hahn, Aubrey Plaza moments. Um, so there's that on top of this last episode, the flashback with Billy, or at the time William Kaplan, um, his partner or boyfriend is played by a trans actor. So you know you have that, and then you have Rio and Agatha and the other witches. When Rio shows up, they're like, "Do I want to kill her, or do I want her number? There's a lot. It's a very it is a very um, queer show, in a way that, you know, Multiverse of Madness. Oh, my mom's, you know, like it's like a peck on the cheek, and then oh, we're gone, or Wakanda Forever. Um, oh my goodness. After Okoye gets demoted, then Io like gives Michaela Cole a kiss on the head. It goes, "Thank you, my love," and then that's it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
they're very they're very gentle with the
Yeah.
LGBTQ uh, representation, though they try to showcase it. So I do think this show by default, so already is going to be the gayest show Marvel's done.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So you do, yeah, you do have that coming in with the relationship. And we mentioned the character Joe here. Uh, I mean, of William Kaplan. The actor's name is Joe Locke. There, and the character's name Will Kaplan, who we later learn is Billy Maximoff, who is the son of Wanda Maximoff. He was the young boy there. She had two sons, Billy and
Tommy.
Tommy. Billy and Tommy there. What do you think about that review? I mean, you pretty much already you said you knew it was coming. Other people knew it was coming. But what do you think about his character in this?
Yeah, I could have swore they said it like during the press tour. Like someone said Wiccan. I'm like, oh, they just said it. Like they heavily alluded to Wiccan. I'm like, okay. Um, um, what was your question? I'm sorry.
I said, how do you like him in the show? What do you think about his character there?
Um, I think my only question was if their existence was conditional because of the hex. How did Billy, who, you know, his body pixelates when the hex opens up and is going away, how did he have time to soul jump to to a dead body outside the hex? That's my only question. It was, but even then, that happening is very cool. You know, I think it's a testament to Billy's power as a sorcerer, considering the fact that last episode he double crosses the entire coven, and he then has the crown or tiara that as mom wore. It's a different color, and he looks really badass with the crown, and just you know, with the blue magic, because Tommy was the speedster like his uncle Pietro, and Billy is like his mom, like as like the does he does like the witchy hand thing.
Yes,
um,
magic stuff. Yeah,
so even though we did see it coming, and I do have questions about some of the logistics of it all, I did still like it. It was I'm still happy. I still accept the answer. You know, I'm still I'm good with it. I just if that could be explained, how his soul could his soul could leave the hex and latch on to such another body without pixelating, you know, because his existence is conditional by the hex, as Vision says in the finale of WandaVision.
yeah, yeah. Maybe I mean we still got more episodes. Maybe they'll explain it
Yeah, maybe we'll explain it more.
more in depth later on. Where do you expect this character to go from this show and then beyond? What do you think? Is they're going to try to incorporate him more into the MCU? Because if people know, Wiccan does eventually become the Sorcerer Supreme there, so that does happen. What do you think about the future of the character?
Yeah, I mean, all we know is that he is powerful. He is very powerful. He got the drop on Agatha, and he took control of two other seasoned witches who are well over his age. Like these witches have been these witches have been alive for a very long time. Like Agatha and Patty LuPone's character, they're like hundreds of years old. You know, they're all ancient witches, as they say. I think Wiccan, whether or not he does find his brother Tommy, um, he looks very similar to Haley Seinfeld's Kate Bishop, so it could be a Young Avengers type situation. Considering how young the character does look, um, considering how young I've seen the character like in like comic panels with the blue and like the red. Um, I could definitely see him like in Young Avengers going forward, and I don't see why you wouldn't keep uh you know, seeing how WandaVision, no, Multiverse of Madness ended with the Scarlet Witch kind of ending herself. It's still not clear. Um, you know, there's there's now a hole in the MCU that that could be Wiccan, as the new Sorcerer Supreme, as the new most powerful, one of the most powerful sorcerers in the MCU. I think he would fit well with Young Avengers, with Kate Bishop, America Chavez, Kamala Khan, and Isaiah Bradley's grandson, who I
Mhm.
think is his name is I forget his character's.
Elijah, I think Elijah.
Elijah Bradley. No, yeah, so you're right. Yeah, Elijah. Is it? It's not Patriot. Is it Patriot?
I forgot his name.
Yeah,
Maybe it is Patriot.
yeah,
Maybe.
something like that.
Yeah. So I expect him to, see him maybe pop up in some, like I said, they're trying to maybe do the Young Avengers thing. They got some of the characters there that's probably going to build up into the future. Joe Locke as is the character of Billy there. It's fine. I mean, again, now that this reveal has happened, he's gonna, stop being a little bit of the lost kid, like, oh, I don't know what's happening. So he had to play dumb for a minute there.
Mhm.
So we get to see more of that, maybe, come into more of his element and see what that character change and see what that does for him there. Um, but yeah, I mean, overall, I think this is a solid show there. I think this is maybe better than what I was expecting. I mean, I didn't really have super high expectations, but it's fun. It's a fun thing there to watch.
It's definitely for the season. It's spooky season, and it's a good Halloween show.
Yeah, something solid to watch there. I don't know if they want to do I don't know if they want to do multiple seasons of it. Probably not. It's probably just a one and done type thing.
I think so.
Based on what they're kind of doing with this, and that's fine if they do that. I think it's just to serve to, like, hey, it's just fun thing here, and we're doing, and with this cast, and that's about it here. Catherine Hahn, who normally I've seen her in, side characters of usually comedies and other things. There, I've never really seen her as the lead of anything. And here I think she really shines as the lead on this show there, and like everything she does, like with her body movements and facial inflections there, everything like that is all super fun to watch and really enjoyable. Um, so yeah, I mean, it'll be fun to see kind of where this kind of ends up and where it goes, and I'd like to see Catherine Hahn stick around as Agatha there and see where she does there, and maybe be incorporated to the MCU. I think she has that good of a personality. I just like to see Catherine Hahn in generally anything she does. I
Yeah,
think she's that good.
yeah,
I think she's a lot
she's
of fun.
amazing.
So yeah, for me, I just give it a stream it. It's a solid stream it there. If you Who is this for? I mean, I guess if you liked WandaVision, maybe you'll also probably enjoy this as well. If you just kind of want to see some, just nice kind of campy witch type fun there, I think this kind of satisfies that to a degree. So I
Yeah.
just give it a stream it. What about for you? Here, mid season kind of rating.
Um, what do you have above stream it? What's your next tier?
Above stream it, we got you can tune in.
I'll give it a tune in. Yeah,
Okay.
no, tune in. It's you don't need to be a Marvel comic fan to enjoy it. I, spooky season is definitely something that I've seen a lot of like women get excited for. Like the fall season is what the pumpkin patch and boots and scarves. Like this is the season that a lot of you know girls and women tend to look forward to, and I think this show is um, it's still for everyone. I'm still really enjoying it, and it's well written, great chemistry. Catherine Hahn is anchoring the show. She's a star. I definitely tune in. It's a fun show.
Mm, okay. So stream it from me. Tune in from Chris here for Agatha All Along. There's still a few more episodes to go here before the season wraps up. I don't know if Chris wants to join me to do the season wrap up here.
Sure.
Do a review for that. But yeah, very nice there. Yeah, solid show. Not great. I don't think it's terrible. I don't think it's great. Just it's all right. It's cool.
Yeah.